Hey, all you wiretappers out there. Welcome back to the studio. It's kind of a little shorty. I was noodling around and I found this clip of Ray Liotta talking about filming Goodfellas and dealing with Lou Eppolito, one of the mafia cops. Stephen Caracappa and Lou Eppolito were the mafia cops. They were New York City policemen that really, they should have been mob guys. And they were mob guys that went on the police department and worked their ways into positions that one of them was in the intelligence unit actually for a while, and the other was a homicide dick, I think. They also did hits mainly for Gas Pipe Casso. Eppolito wrote a book and was pretty popular, and he was consulting with on Hollywood movies, and even had a small bit part in Goodfellas, and I think maybe he had something else to do in the movies. But I thought Ray Liotta had some really interesting stories about working with the mob, working with Joe Pesci, working with Eppolito on Goodfellas. Check this out.
Bob was there, De Niro, Lorraine. Pesci didn't make it, though.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he sent a letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old-fashioned.
And then Bob read it.
Did he really?
And basically it said, sorry I can't be there. But the what the
He even curses when he writes.
He's a funny guy.
That might be the greatest scene ever. I mean, really, it still makes me nervous, even though I know what's happening in that scene.
Oh, thanks.
Now, Goodfellas, you learn to ride a horse. Do you learn to be a mobster for a movie like that? And can you even?
Well, they gave me a guy who used to be a cop, whose family was in the mob, and he later went mob. And I remember one day we go to lunch, right? We get there. Eating, and I wanted to pay. He's telling me things and sharing things. My wallet's not there. Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh, what do I do with my wallet? We go back. Now, this is like in Queens. People all over the place walking up and down, and all of a sudden I walk, boom, there's my wallet. There's no question. He took it from me. He took it from me, and then I guess after he threw it on the street and said, oh, look, there it is.
Why do you think that happened?
He's a douche.
All right, well, that's a good reason.
The night that I got the part, Lorraine and I found out. We went to Marty's apartment, then we went to a place called Rayo's. You know it?
Yeah, sure.
And then we went there. We're having a nice dinner. Then all of a sudden, towards the dessert, all these guys start coming up. And basically, they were auditioning, but they did it by saying, I knew a guy who did this. Then the other one tops it, I knew a guy who did that. And their stories got worse and worse. And they were talking about themselves. So they were just, no, I got some. You think that's a whacking? It was that kind of thing.
Wow, you don't have to be in the FBI. You just tell people you're directing a movie, and you'll get all the information you need.
Well, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it? Joe Pesci, and he's cussing all the time. I know Frank Liotta has one of his videos out there. He talks about how on the set, even Pesci just dropped the F-bomb about every third word, which is, it's okay maybe at work with a bunch of guys, but it kind of gets on your nerves after a while. Some little guy dropping F-bombs like he's trying to be tough or something. Who knows? I will. Frank's dead and gone, and I think he tried to straighten him out on the set. And Joe Pesci is what he is and been immensely successful.
Telephone tough guy. Joe Pesci.
Is that what you did? Told him to go fuck himself? You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Come here.
So now let's hear a story about how Gas Pipe Casso hired the mob cops to locate and kill a guy, but he tries to chintz on him. He tried to, get them to do it for less money, and they wanted more money, and they wouldn't do it. So he tried to do it himself and see what happens. Listen to this one.
Was one of the people who tried to assassinate Casso was a guy named Nicky Guido. He wants the cops to kill Nicky Guido, but he can't find out where he lives or anything about him. So he asks the cops to do it, and they say, well, we want an additional $4,000 if you want us to do this. And Casso refuses to pay them. He says, never mind, I'll find out myself. So he has a friend who works at the Brooklyn Union Gas Company, and the guy comes up with a name and address and a location of a Nicky Guido who lives in a section of Brooklyn that's known as mob territory. And he's the same age as the Nicky Guido they're looking for. So Casso gets a couple of his gunmen to go and kill this, not the mafia cops, but 2 gunmen, to go and kill this Nicky Guido. And of course, it's the wrong Nicky Guido. And they pull up alongside him. He just bought a new Nissan Maxima, and he's showing it to his uncle. And from the side windows of this car that pulled up next to him, there are several blasts of gunfire. And he throws himself over his uncle's body to protect him, but he's killed in the process. And the car of killers drive away. And Eppolito and Caracappa are furious because, they said they told Kaplan that if Casso had been willing to pay us the other $4,000, we would have gotten the right person. Now he's killed an innocent person, and this further alerts the police that something bad is going on, and they have to solve the problem.
Well, that's my little shorty about Gaspipe Casso, the mob cops, and Ray Liotta and Goodfellas, and just kind of a catch-all kind of a thing for your entertainment today. Don't forget, I like to ride motorcycles, so watch out for motorcycles when you're out there on the streets. If you have PTSD and you've been in the service, go to the VA website. Almost forgot what I was saying there. Go to the VA website and get that hotline number. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, which sometimes is hand in hand with PTSD, get hold of our friend Anthony Ruggiano. I think it's reportgangsters.com or just search his name on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, you'll see his hotline number. And if you're getting into treatment yourself, he's down in Florida. Maybe you can go down there and he can be your counselor. Wouldn't that be fun? Be interesting. I don't know, maybe it might not be so fun if you're just going into recovery, but he would make it fun. You'd have some great stories to tell too. Thanks a lot, guys.